nator will be that address right there. And then while we're doing this, let's also get the rinkb address for our price feed. So Ethereum price feeds, rinkb, let's scroll down for ETHUSD. ETHUSD, here we go. Grab that, enter, and this will be ETHUSD price feed. Paste that address in here, perfect. So now we can do get contract VRF coordinator dot address. Of course, we are going to have to go back to our helpful scripts because there's currently no mapping between what a VRF coordinator is and what its mock needs to be. So we'll add a comma here and we'll do VRF coordinator, and we need to get a mock VRF coordinator. Well, first of all, we don't even have our mock v3 aggregator, so let's go grab that as well. So we can grab both of these. Again, I'm going to highly recommend going to the Chainlink mix, going into the contracts here, going to the test folder for these different mocks, because these are already set up to work with the Chainlink mix. However, you can definitely go into the Chainlink GitHub as well. Go to contracts, src 0.6, tests, and then look for the different mocks in here. So mock Oracle, VRF coordinator mock, etc. So I'm just gonna grab it though from this Chainlink mix. So let's go to VRF coordinator mock, and I'm just gonna grab this whole thing here. So I'll do contracts, new folder, test, new file, VRF coordinator mock.sol. Paste it in here. And then while we're in here, we'll want to do new file, mock v3 aggregator.sol. We'll grab this as well from our Chainlink mix. Again, it's got all the functions of a price feed, update answer, latest round, etc. VRF coordinator mock has different functions for actually working with the VRF coordinator. One of the specific ones in particular is this callback with randomness that we're going to use in our tests. So our VRF coordinator is going to get mapped to our VRF coordinator mock, which will also import this from Brownie. Great, and just to double check everything's working, we'll want to run just a quick Brownie compile to make sure we are importing our mocks correctly and everything's compiling, so it looks like we're good there. All right, so now we have get contract VRF coordinator.address. Perfect. What else do we need in here? We need a link token. The Chainlink token is, of course, just another smart contract. So we're going to do the exact same thing here. Get contract link token.address. Of course, this means in our config for rinkb, let's add a link token address. We'll go to the Chainlink documentation. We'll go to link token contracts. We'll look for rinkb. We'll grab this address. We'll drop it in here. Perfect. Now we have it in our Brownie config. We'll also need to add it to our helpful scripts. So we'll need a mock link token, which again, we can just go ahead and grab from our Chainlink mix here. So we can go to test. And as you can probably see, what I often normally do is literally just copy this entire test folder project to project. So I'm going to copy this whole thing, create a new file. We're just going to call this one link token.sol. Contract link token, perfect. And then in our helpful scripts, we're going to have this be link token. And of course, we're going to import this from Brownie. Great, get contract link token.address, perfect. What else do we need? We need a fee and a key hash. So the fee and the key hash are both just numbers, right? These aren't actually contracts. So we don't need to put this through that get contract bit. What we can do is just in our config, in our development network, we can just add a default for the key hash and for the fee. I'm just going to set my development key hash and fee equal to the rinkb ones. So to grab those, we'll go to the chain link docs once again. We'll scroll down to using randomness, contract addresses. We'll look up RinkB. We'll grab the key hash here, which we'll paste in for both our development and RinkB. And then the fee, it says 0.1 link. So we'll just do that in way here, which will be 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll do this line for RinkB as well. Now in our deploy lottery, we can just grab this directly from our Brownie config because we're always just going to have this default key hash and this default fee here for our development network. So we'll do config networks network.show active. Which one's first? The fee. Of course, this means we're going to have to grab network from Brownie and also config. Then we'll do config networks network.show active key hash. And then, of course, our last bit here, from account. And then, additionally, as we learned last time, if we want to publish this, we'll do publish source equals config networks network.show active. We'll say .get verify, and then we'll add this false bit here. What this is saying is get that verify key, but if there's no verify key there, just default to false. This way, if we don't set a verify key in development, that's fine. It just won't get to verified. For RinkB, let's go ahead and set verify to true. So we can actually verify this on the RinkB chain. And then we'll even do a print statement here. Deployed lottery. All right, lovely. Let's try this out. We'll do Brownie, run scripts, deploy lottery.py. We won't set a network flag, so it'll go to the default development network. Let's try this out. Things are compiling. Ganache is spinning up. It looks like we did run into a little issue here with our get contract function. Of course, we forgot to add deploying these mocks in our deploy mock script. Whoops. Let's go ahead and add that as well. Right now, our deploy mocks only deploys the mock v3 aggregator. So let's add the rest of our mocks in here. We're going to need to deploy a VRF coordinator mock and a chain link token mock. So let's open up those contracts, see what they need. The link token for a constructor doesn't have a constructor, so we can just have it be blank. So we'll do link token .deploy, and all we need is a from account here. And then let's see what that VRF coordinator mock takes. VRF coordinator mock. It takes the link token as an address. Perfect. So then when we deploy the link token here, we'll say link token equals link token.deploy, and then we'll do VRF coordinator mock .deploy, and then we'll use the link token.address as an input parameter, and then of course from account. All right, so now we're deploying all three of those mocks right away. Let's try this again. Brownie run scripts, deploy lottery.py. Ganache is spinning up. Perfect. So we can see here that our mock v3 aggregator was deployed, then our mock link token was deployed, then our mock VRF coordinator was deployed, and then our lottery was deployed with those mocks defined. And we deployed the lottery. Awesome. Now we could 100% go ahead and then run this script on an actual testnet, right? Because our config is set up well. Let's write some more functionality for actually interacting with this lottery before we actually do that. And then we can actually just run a script which will do all this functionality end to end. Because again, deploying to a testnet takes a long time, and we really only want to do that when we're done and we're fairly confident that everything's working well. Let's even just delete this here. So now what's the next thing that we'd want to do here? What's the next thing we want to do in a script here? Well, we'd probably want to go ahead and start the lottery. So let's write a script that can actually do that. We'll do def start lottery. And in here, we'll get our account equals get account. We'll say the lottery is going to be the most recent deployment of the lottery. And we're going to call this start lottery function here. This is indeed changing state. So we do have to make a transaction. We'll do lottery. That's start lottery. We'll say from account. And then we'll do a little print and just say the lottery is started. And then in our main function down here, we can even call this start lottery function. So if we run this again on our development chain, we'll see if everything works smoothly here. Okay, we did run into an issue, and this is something that you'll see from time to time. Typically the workaround is you want to wait for that last transaction to actually go through. So we'll say starting transaction equals lottery.start lottery. And we'll do starting transaction.wait 1. Brownie sometimes gets a little confused if you don't wait for the last transaction to go through. So let's try it again, and perfect. We do get this working as intended. So that is a really helpful tip if you run into those weird issues. You'll notice that even when we didn't have this, it still completed successfully. It just got a little confused at the end. All right, cool. So what do we want to do next? Well, we probably want to enter the lottery. Let's do def enter lottery. So how do we enter the lottery? We'll say account equals get account. Lottery is going to be lottery -1. We need to pick some value to send when we call the enter function, right? Because we need to send that entrance fee with it. So we'll say value equals lottery.get entrance fee. And just to be safe, I usually will tack on a little bit of way as well, because sometimes it might be off by like 1 or 2 or something like that. So we'll do lottery.get entrance fee plus, maybe something like this, which is like barely anything. Then we'll do transaction equals lottery.enter. We'll do from account. We'll send a value, which will be value. We'll do tx.wait, and then we'll do print. You entered the lottery. And we'll do this enter lottery bit down here too. Enter lottery. We'll run this, see if our enter script is working appropriately. You entered the lottery, looks great. And let's do our last function here. We'll do def end lottery. Count equals get account. Lottery equals lottery -1. We'll make a transaction, which will be lottery.end lottery. Now, before we actually end this lottery, we're going to need some link token in this contract. Because remember, our end lottery function calls this request randomness function. And we can only request some randomness if our contract has some chain link token associated with it. So we're going to need to first fund the contract and then end the lottery. Since funding our contracts with the link token is going to be a pretty common function that we use, let's go ahead and turn this also into a helpful script. So let's go to our helpful scripts. We'll make a new function called fund with link. And let's have this take a couple of parameters. So first, we'll want to have a contract address, of course. We'll want to know who we're going to fund with link. We'll set a default account to being none. So if you want, you can send an account, but you don't have to if you don't want to. We'll also do the same thing with a link token. We'll say if you want to use a specific link token, you can. Otherwise, we'll just grab it ourselves. And then we'll